WXII 12 News at 5 starts right now.
More deadly violence erupts at a U.S. military base. The latest from Pensacola Naval Air Force Station.
Business leaders warn that ongoing trade tensions could impact the holiday shopping season. I'm Bree Jackson in Washington with details on where negotiations stand.
And holiday parades in downtown Greensboro and here in downtown Winston-Salem tomorrow. What police department leaders are reminding families to do to stay safe while having fun.
We begin tonight in Pensacola, Florida. Multiple people dead, multiple others hurt after a shooter opens fire at the Naval Air Station there.
It unfortunately is the second shooting this week at a U.S. Navy base, leaving many on high alert. We get more now from Camila Bernal.
Walking through the crime scene was like being on the set of a movie.
The Escambia County Sheriff describing what he saw after the Naval Air Station shooting in Pensacola, Florida. Multiple people are injured and at least 4 are dead, including the suspect, a member of the Saudi military training at the base.
The government of Saudi Arabia needs to make things better for these victims, and I think that they are going to owe a debt here.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis speaking with law enforcement and the president in the wake of the shooting.
King Salman of Saudi Arabia just called to express his sincere condolences and give his sympathies to the families and friends of the warriors who were killed and wounded in the attack.
The shooting happening just before 7 a.m. local time, and authorities responding within minutes. 2 deputies were shot but are expected to recover.
There was some real heroism today. I mean, real heroism. It made me, I'm devastated. We are in shock. This is surreal. But I couldn't be prouder to wear the uniform that I wear.
Authorities say the shooting took place in a classroom building.
I think it could have been a lot worse if we don't train the way we do.
And as of now, authorities say it's too early to determine a motive.
While a dark day, you know, folks, this shows who we are. It shows the best of who we are. In that one of us needs help, everybody responds.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
This, unfortunately, is the second deadly shooting at a U.S. military base this week. 2 days ago, at Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickman Navy Region, Hawaii, a sailor opened fire, killing 2 civilian workers and wounding a third before turning the gun on himself. Investigators are still trying to piece together how and why this happened. The gunman was assigned to the submarine USS Columbia, and it is still not clear if he knew his victims.
Well, it's already a solemn week at the base. Tomorrow marks the 78th anniversary of Japan's sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, killing more than 2,000 service members that day. That attack ultimately pulled the U.S. into World War II, and flags across the state and the country will fly at half-staff in remembrance. All right, 'tis the season for holidays and festivities all across the Triad this weekend. Meteorologist Michelle Kennedy joining us tonight to let us know if rain might get in the way of any of these plans. Michelle?
Yeah, I don't think rain is going to be a big issue for us, but we do have some concerns out there for just a passing sprinkle. You might get a little damp, but then it's going to pass right through. Most of what's been falling is so light and it doesn't last long. We have lots of clouds, though. Temperatures are chilly in the 40s, so we do need to have those layers on and ready to go. If you're heading out to Asheboro and Mebane, especially, this is when our parades are this evening. And we're going to continue to look at those clouds holding on, we believe, through about 7, 8 a.m. in the morning hours. So this is what we're expecting to see out there. You can see your evening temperatures, of course, are in the 60s as well. All right, we're going to show you the rainfall, too. You can see those showers out there from the Triad continuing to build through, and this will bring us the rain showers limited. You know, we're talking about 0.05 of an inch as well, and we don't have much in the way of actual heavy downpours, so we're happy about that too. Take a look at this temperatures for tomorrow for your parades in Winston-Salem. We've got temperatures at 48 degrees, 47 as the parade begins around 5 o'clock, and we should be mostly sunny for a good part of the day, so we have that to look forward to. And watching the front, though, that one's going to sweep through. Then we have to talk rain chances for late Sunday night, and it could mean some clouds. We'll have much more for you coming up.
2 people in Davidson County are accused of trying to solicit a 14-year-old girl in Massachusetts. David Presnell Jr. as well as Brenda Freeman are charged with felony conspiracy to commit human trafficking. Investigators say the 2 were chatting with the teen online and were planning to go to Massachusetts and bring her back to North Carolina for sexual purposes. Now, the sheriff's office says that Presnell and Freeman were also talking to multiple minors, some of them as young as 8 and 10 years old. A registered sex offender in Lexington is accused of child sex crimes. 36-year-old Kevin Heidel is now charged with second and third degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Davidson County deputies say that he had and distributed explicit material involving children.
Wilkes County deputies charged a 51-year-old Wilkesboro man with attempted murder, among other crimes. They say this man, Alfonso Jones, shot an 18-year-old in a road rage incident. Investigators say Gibson Brandos was grazed by a bullet while driving on Winkler Mill Road last month. They say Jones believed Brandos was tailgating him and had his high beams on. Jones's bond is set at $500,000. Tonight, a 25-year-old man is recovering after he was shot last night. He told Greensboro police he was shot at The Mint on East Market Street around 1:30 this morning. Officers haven't named the victim, but say he is currently out of the hospital.
The ride-hailing industry has changed the face of public transportation, but a new report is highlighting the risks involved. Uber released its 84-page first-of-its-kind safety reports, which states that there were 5,981 sexual assaults reported in 2017 and 2018, including 464 reports of rape. Uber also reports 19 deaths caused by physical assault. Uber's data also states that 99.9% of its rides occur without any sort of incident and has boosted its safety measures. State lawmakers have taken action to protect both passengers and ride-sharing drivers. Under a new law, if someone is caught impersonating a driver in North Carolina, they automatically face a misdemeanor. But charges can be upgraded to a felony if that person is also caught committing another crime.
Well, good news for the economy tonight. Job growth jumped last month to its highest level since January. The U.S. added a stellar 266,000 jobs last month. That includes about 50,000 General Motors employees who returned to work after a 6-week-long strike. The unemployment rate also dropped to 3.5%, matching a 50-year low. Wages are also up. Well, the price that you pay to celebrate the holidays may be impacted by ongoing trade wars.
In a big way this week, President Trump threatened new tariffs on goods, including champagne, wine, and other French products. Bree Jackson is in Washington with more on the trade tensions and the potential impact on your wallet.
Brandon and Talitha, there's an ongoing trade war between the U.S. and China, and right now there's no real timeline for a resolution. Business leaders tell me the longer it takes to strike a deal, the more customers may have to pay. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding trade wars, including the president's most recent threat to tax French goods.
Wine, cheese, Louis Vuitton handbags. What's the time frame for getting on the shelves and paying the tariffs? I don't know product by product.
The real concern is that those tariffs are going to go up even further, and it's really going to impact consumers when they're in that store trying to buy something for Christmas or the holiday season.
The latest proposed tariffs are in retaliation to a French tax on tech giants.
The position of the Trump administration, and I think it's a reasonable one, is to say, wait a minute, you're just targeting U.S. companies here. You're discriminating against us.
This week, trade tensions with China sent investors on a roller coaster ride. On Monday, stocks plunged after the president's remarks that a deal may not happen until after the 2020 election. By Friday, stocks saw a surge after news of a strong jobs report.
America is working. America is working.
The tariffs are inflicting higher costs on small businesses, and that makes it harder to compete.
And as trade talks continue and the holiday season ramps up, business leaders are hopeful an agreement will be made to avoid new tariffs. And if the U.S. and China don't reach a deal by the December 15th deadline, new tariffs could take effect on Chinese goods, including laptops and electronics. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson, WXII 12 News.
Turning now to Commitment 2020, North Carolina Junior U.S. Senator Thom Tillis says he plans to file for re-election in Raleigh on Monday. He also opened his re-election campaign headquarters in Charlotte today.
Switching gears here, with the holiday season comes those Christmas parades that we all love and enjoy. 2 are actually happening tomorrow in the Triad. Greensboro is scheduled for noon and Winston-Salem's begins at 5. Our Steve King spoke with law enforcement about the parades, and they have some important information to pass along to you if you plan to line the streets. Steve King joins us now live in downtown Winston-Salem tonight with what you need to know before you go. Steve.
All right, Toledo. Well, the parade is going to last about an hour. It starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. here in downtown Winston-Salem, and Winston-Salem Police Department leaders are reminding everybody to make sure that they designate a place to meet with their families in case they get separated. They're also asking people to keep an eye on their valuables at all times and stay off of the road while the parade is going on. There will also be uniformed officers along every block of the parade route and off-duty officers among the crowd to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Above all, Winston-Salem police are asking everyone to keep their eyes open and find a police officer if you see anything suspicious.
So always be aware of your surroundings. If something, we say if something doesn't seem right, it probably isn't. If it's an emergency, call 911. If it's something you can get a hold of a police officer on scene, find a police officer on scene. But yeah, just, if it doesn't seem right, it probably isn't.
The parade starts at 4th and Poplar Streets, goes down 4th to Liberty Street, and ends at Corpening Plaza near 1st Street. Those roads will close beforehand, so make sure you allow plenty of time if you plan to drive downtown tomorrow evening. And also, you're going to need a lot of time to find parking because spots are going to be difficult to come by tomorrow. Reporting live in downtown Winston-Salem, Steve King, WXII 12 News.